Look, they gon' love me for my ambition.
The Joker. The Joker. The Joker.
Beautiful music, painting pictures, this be my vision.
That was us at the movies watching Joker. The Joaquin Phoenix role, Todd Phillips' portrayal of Joker. Now, if you guys are not familiar with the Joker, then especially my generation below are definitely a bit more familiar with The Dark Knight.
You have nothing.
The portrayal done by Heath Ledger, who passed away in January, and the film was released July. After his passing, this role gained much more praise and much more of a classic type of feel. Here's a clip.
Why so serious? He sticks the blade in my mouth. Let's put a smile on that face.
This billion-dollar movie, that's right, billion-dollar grossing movie Dark Knight, has stapled this to be one of the best roles ever done by any actor ever, and the Joker to be one of the best, if not the best, villains ever. Such a complex and evil sort of mind and behavior that is not common, at least to our public eye in the mainstream, or considered tasteful, makes it not something that is sought after or profitable. Here we have in the Joker a film that the portrayal is completely in a sense of a prequel. That's what we got from us viewing the film. This is the Joker before Bruce Wayne, before Bruce Wayne becomes Batman. This is Bruce Wayne as a child. Spoiler alert, ends with Bruce Wayne, the scene where his parents both pass away. Now, this right here is iconic because if you remember the scene, it shows you, the person who kills him has a Joker mask on. So, it makes him have this disdain, especially growing up and now being a grown man. And we have people rioting at the end of the film because of all the Joker's behavior. Him killing people on the subway, him going on live television, a talk show, and sort of proclaiming that he was the one that did it. But not in a, arrest me type of way, and more of a spiral of evil and a spiral of just taking things over and claiming that, society is corrupt and we have to conquer, and everyone who's rich is taken from the poor, so the poor now must take from the rich type of mentality. So what did the poor do? They revolted, and one of the revolters saw Thomas Wayne, who's Bruce Wayne's father, leaving the theater. He saw an opportunity and he struck with his hat. You don't deserve to live, you don't deserve for what you've done, etc. And he kills him. This right here is really deep and impactful. I think that this film, in my opinion, and I can speak for YI, who didn't even want to be a part of this video because he's so enthralled by it. Me, I was taking it in, watching reviews, so I wanted to speak upon it because I'm so enthralled to the point that I want to get words out about this film. I think that Marloon didn't like it, by the way. If you're familiar with the channel Complex Ambition, we have a third member. Marloon is not very fond of the movie. But in my opinion, I say this movie is a piece, a classic piece. This is something that you can take and watch in the future. It's not a film that you have to watch now. Blockbuster, there's no glitz and glam. There's no extra effects. They spent $50 million to make this film. $50 million. That is nothing compared to the hundreds and hundreds of millions that typical DC and Marvel superhero films end up spending. The budget was only $55 million. And this movie will make way more than that. This is iconic from start to finish. We have Joker starting off. Joaquin Phoenix, first of all, one of the most iconic actors due to his portrayal of different characters who make him get deeper into the character.
For me, I have a connection to hip hop the way anyone has a connection to any kind of music.
You were what?
In love.
Smile for me now, brother.
When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son.
We have the iconic Her role where he becomes in love with this sort of something that is just not real, and he portrayed that so well, and he always does a really, really, really well job in these portrayals. So people were like, wow, he's really gonna play Joker. I'm excited to see it. Will it be up to par with the Heath Ledger classic Joker? I will say this Joker from beginning to finish was a Joker pre-Dark Knight Joker, pre-Heath Ledger Joker. So this is a prequel, if you want to call it, to that actual becoming of the Joker. This is him. Almost the only thing that could have possibly been missing was him as a child, which they didn't display at all. They spoke upon him as a child and his find out he was adopted and all this. But we have him growing up, grown man having to raise his mother.
My mother always tells me to smile and put on a happy face.
Dealing with having to take medication, dealing with having to visit a therapist / psychiatrist type of doctor who doesn't understand him, but she's dealing with her own frustrations because the city is not funding her, so she's not being paid, so she's not willing to actually help him because she can't help herself. And that was, also a depiction of what society and government can be, but not just what can be. This is what New York was, in the 60s, 80s, in the 90s. That was early New York City. Gotham City here is a depiction, specifically Hell's Kitchen, that whole area. I was really excited watching this. The Joker has elements that you can remember it by, whether it's Joaquin dancing. He does a lot of dancing, which is symbolic of him feeling one with himself and feeling comfortable. Whenever he's comfortable, he starts dancing.
Though your heart is aching.
Whenever he's sort of feeling accomplished, he dances. And he did this a lot through the video. It's really beautiful. Also, the Joker thrusting while he's dancing. The thrust, sort of like an excitement dance and like a iconic thrust. Almost sexual, but funny, but yet really dope. And then the iconic tie-in to the whole premise. If you are a moviegoer, this is for you. Taxi Driver.
Well, who the hell else are you talking? You talking to me?
Taxi Driver. Martin Scorsese, Taxi Driver. Now, this film, Robert De Niro's, debatably his best film ever. Young Robert De Niro depicting this guy who is, in layman's terms, psychotic, needs issues, has issues, needs help. Similar, if not identical, to this guy right here, Arthur Fleck, Joker, Joaquin Phoenix character, identical. So the whole film had this sort of taste, this sort of on-screen look. Scorsese specifically was supposed to help executive produce this film early on. I think he started a little bit, but then he had to leave due to time constraints. But we definitely do see his touch and influence heavily throughout the film. Taxi Driver, the yellow lettering of Joker. Taxi Driver, the Robert De Niro is in this film. He's playing the actual talk show which the Joker went on at the end to sort of incite this riot full blown and speak upon the crimes he allegedly committed, because we really don't know. I'm not indicting him myself. I'm not speaking upon that man. I know nothing. But De Niro is actually in the film, so that's kind of paying homage directly to the Taxi Driver. And aside from that, the killing of himself going like this symbolically, he kept doing that throughout the film. There's a scene right here. That's, Taxi Driver, where his hand has blood and he's doing that. Suicidal. A lot of suicidal tendencies in this. He was supposed to maybe kill himself on the talk show because he brought the gun ready to do that, but he didn't do that. Instead, he killed the talk show host. Man, really fun film. I really was really excited about this. Me and YI were excited to watch this, and we enjoyed it. I would say go watch it. Christopher Nolan, hell of a director. But Todd Phillips here, he did what he had to do. Classic for hangovers, all the hangover films, and I think it's only going to get better from here. Joker, will it be a sequel? I'm not sure. Really never know when it comes to movies. In my opinion, there won't. There won't. This is a one-of-one piece. This is something you can watch. Like I said, you don't have to rush to watch it. You can watch it 10 years from now, and it's still going to be timeless because this is the best depiction of a Joker film that there could possibly be. Long enough, beautifully shot, symmetric shots throughout the entire film, whether it's the steps, whether it's the halls of the Arkham Asylum. The love portrayal by Sassy Beats, the actress from Atlanta. And we also have the guy who plays Paperboy, the actor from Atlanta, also being portrayed in the film. And it was tastefully done. That's their sense, I believe, Todd Phillips' sense of diversification, because a lot of films these days, they're doing that, but it comes off corny. Here, it did not come off corny, it came off tasteful. The love interest was Zazie Beetz. She played this neighbor, but she actually wasn't a love interest. Inside of Joaquin's mind, Arthur's mind, Joker's mind, she was there all the time. Every time he sensed comfort was from her, but she was never really there. She wasn't there at the stand-up comedy show he did. She wasn't there when he had sex with her. She was not there. So that was one of the climatic twists at the end, because the whole film you thought she was there, and you were like, this is the only one person that understands her, but she was never there. She was actually intimidated by him and frightened by him, but she was a cool neighbor, nonetheless. But that was all she really was at the end of the day. And him killing his mother, the actual murdering of your own parent. This is becoming of a character, whether it's in a story, whether it's Frankenstein being killed by his own creation. This is Joker killing his own mother. The father not being existent because he's adoptive. Her working at Gotham with Thomas Wayne early in her years, but also her being psychotic and influencing a child with genes, but then him also being beaten. So that's what makes him the Joker. That's why he has scars. That's why he's so skinny. Joaquin lost 60 pounds for this role. Man, I could go on and on about this, but I would say go watch this film. It's very touching, very moving. I think it was tasteful. It was what it needed to be. Now, if you're looking for a blockbuster event, this is not your film. Now, if you're looking for a tasteful depiction of a man who has been through it all, has the world against him, has taxis turning on streets avoiding him, has the world staring at him, him losing his job, has him being accused of these allegations without evidence, more just because of his look, more because of his laugh. Another key element that I'm going to end it with is the iconic Joker laugh. This laugh portrayed by Joaquin was so well executed. Throughout the film, we have him doing it where it's more of a condition, not a sense of victory or sense of evilness. It naturally flew into if it was evil, but it was really him just having this condition where he has a card where he passes it out. If he's in an awkward situation, he gives you the card. You read the card. I have an awkward condition. I laugh awkwardly. Oh, wow, pardon, I'm sorry. Give me the card back. You read that card, you get it. So you leave him alone. That's sad, but it's beautiful, and it's true. And it was willfully done, man. I sound like I'm drinking wine because this shit was like wine. It's art to me. This is a piece of art. And I don't care how you feel about it, because at the end of the day, the Joker wouldn't. And that's what's so crazy about this. Even Joaquin, when asked about this, he didn't even know what to say about the film, whether he liked it or not. I'll tell you this much. I think Heath Ledger would be proud of this role, because this is a prequel to his role. And you can watch this role and then watch Heath Ledger's role, and you would see the build-up. Beautifully executed. We don't need any more from this. That laugh. He took it from, "Why so serious, son? Why so serious, son?" to hysterical laughter. If you're cringing, I'm cringing. I don't give a fuck. It was just such a good movie. It was so good of a movie, man. You kind of become the role after watching it.